So the best way is to look at the consequences that are happening around you, and to reflect on when you first started using drugs, to see the promises you made to yourself, whether you're still keeping them in your current state. And unfortunately, with addiction, it's often your friends and family members that have an awareness of your problem before you do. So ask some friends that you really trust. So another way to identify if you've got a drug problem is all the various roles you fill. So in your life, you're a husband, you're a partner, you're an employee, you're an employer, you're the party starter, whatever the role is. And now with the addiction, once that starts to impact all those roles. So I'm not a good enough father. I'm not a good enough partner. My addiction is creating problems in the workplace environment. And all those different roles that we fulfill, as a person descends down into their addiction, they all get impacted. And we get messages from those areas. So our children might say, Dad, you're late again. Your colleagues might say, oh, it's Monday. You're never at work on time. It's Friday. He's never in on a Friday morning because he went out for drinks on a Thursday night. So Puza Thursday becomes Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And these are the types of things that we need to consciously look at in our environment. So when you ask yourself the question, like, am I an addict? Look at your wheel of life, all of the areas of your life, your romance, your finance, your career, your health, your spirituality, your relationships with family. Look at all of those. And if you were to rate them on a level of 1 to 10, 10 being fantastic, rate yourself around there, and then see how addiction or your pursuit of getting high is impacting all those areas. So for us, recovery is about what you recover back that the addiction took away. So in the beginning, addiction is you fall in love, and this is forever, and it's the love of your life and your companion, and that beautiful relationship turns into an abusive relationship that you get caught in and can't get out of. And you keep going back to it. But what you need to consider then is, if you decide to change, how you're going to change. So you don't want to, you want to back up the data by seeing a professional. Yeah, I've been exploring, I'm thinking I've got a problem, and the first thing that we want to do is to try and break the stigma around it. So to get people to get help for their mental well-being. Yep. And to break the stigma that goes around addiction or substance abuse. So whether you're using alcohol, drugs, prescription drugs, illicit drugs, gambling, sex, work, all these things are diagnosable, treatable mental health issues. So people need to understand that recovery is a process. Yeah. So when do people want to stop using? When they're using. Yeah. People want to stop using when they're high. You go, oh, we've got to give this up. We've got to stop doing this. We've got to, I'm so going to stop tomorrow. When tomorrow happens, it's so overwhelming that the person then goes, oh, just for today, I'll have another use up. I'll stop tomorrow. Yeah. And that process needs to be understood, because it's too big for people to go from using to complete abstinence. It's too traumatic. And this isn't what we're just doing at the foundation. This is the recommendations of the World Health Organization.
Nice.
Yeah, and the United Nations. We're following the general guidelines of the World Health Organizations, and there's evidence that harm reduction serves everyone. Yeah, so this moral kind of complete abstinence approach, you're a bad person if you're using, you're a failure if you're not using, you're a success, is archaic in its thinking. There's the moral issue, there's a medical issue, but we focus on the wellness issue where people need to take responsibility for their wellness and the way that they behave. So when we come to sex and we talk about sex and we talk about homosexual, bisexual, different kind of sexual orientations, for years and years and years, that has been stigmatized. And people that are in that community have this stigma that they've been living with for many years, which is society's problem. Yeah, but is slow to change. So to survive in that environment, a lot of people take drugs and alcohol to cope with the stigma that is around them, around their sexual orientation. So that adds to the problem. So people don't want to go and get help because they feel stigmatized. Yeah. And if somebody's taking drugs, they got an additional stigmatization. Yeah. So not only you not the kind of heteronormal that society complies with, you've also got a drug problem. And that problem perpetuates in various communities. So my advice would be is if you've moved to the contemplation stage, you're thinking maybe I've got a problem. Yeah, maybe just find a place that's going to support you, that's going to be compassionate and understanding of the whole picture. The one thing with addiction treatment is everyone has an opinion about it. Yeah, if somebody's got diabetes, it's like, oh, I don't know anything about it. Go and see your doctor. What does your doctor say? When somebody says, I think I got a drug problem, everyone will say, oh, I know this one. They went there and, oh, you need to do that, or kick them out on the street, or you just got to love them, or what? It's crazy. That's so if you think you got a problem, speak to individuals and organizations that understand this from a wellness perspective, a medical perspective, and morally how you as an individual might be impacted. Substance use disorder is up. That's a politically correct way of saying it. Yeah, people are using substances more in a disordered way to cope with loneliness, isolation, frustration, financial loss of income, job frustration. And then when that happens, like I'm overwhelmed by my feelings, let me drink on those feelings. Now this anger comes out and I vent on the people that I care about. So that ties into gender-based violence. Just being isolated, I then drink on those, and that's when the violence comes out because I'm so overwhelmed and I don't know how to regulate my emotions, and then it comes out and it spills out everywhere. So that'll increase gender-based violence, it'll increase crime because people are desperate, people will get high and then commit crime while they're high because it helps with the fear. Because to commit crime is quite a scary thing. So you need the desperation and then some Dutch courage. And that's where people use chemicals. Yeah. I can't cope anymore. What's the point? You know, I might as well end it all. I've lost who I am. And then the other side of it is we've got a real opportunity here to recover things back in terms of the great reset or whatever this thing is that's happened, you know. But in terms of like telehealth, speaking to someone to get some kind of support around this, it's like we're doing great here. Passing the good news out to more men in your community, or women in your community, or humans in your community, or humans everywhere. The world is in shock. The world is triggered and traumatized, overwhelmed. So it's fight, flight, freeze, tend and befriend, or sleep. So those are the 5 trauma responses that somebody's going to have. So people are going to get triggered, and then their body's freaked out. Fuck, I need something to calm down. Oh, well, let's have a drink. You know, that's like they soothe the traumatized brain like that. And you said, you know what, David, you're an ally. You're part of this community. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, fuck, that's how I show up here. Okay. Then I really felt accepted and part of the club.